guys, Mark James here, and welcome to my first installment of Mark My Words. This is a new series where I'm going to be discussing a lot of current events, and of course, a lot of subjects that have been on my mind quite recently, and I want to share with you. Because standing up for the right thing is very important to me, and making a better community and everything around me is very important as well. And I think this specific subject I'm going to be talking about today is extremely relevant to everyone around. And this subject is freedom of speech. Now, as you all may know, you can't really say much these days. And that's not the case. We live in what we call a democracy. Now, we have our own opinions, we have different views, different races, there's different class, social class, everything. It's the list goes on. And I watched a video earlier about people easily offended, and it referred to everyone as the snowflake period, and it just really opened my eyes, and I felt I need to kind of push the message on, because so many people get so easily offended about everything, and it needs to stop. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to be offended, certain things, offend me, but I don't start doing a policing campaign where I'm going to stop stuff. I can't stand boy bands and stuff like that. I'm not going to go, no, don't do that. It's no, it just doesn't work like that. And I think a lot of people are forgetting that. And of course, because there's so many complaints and everything, people are forgetting, the big picture. It's limiting comedians and everything. And it's also making people think, just because you have a different opinion to me, you hate me, you must hate me now. No, it's not the case. Now, if someone calls you stupid, you just go, don't worry about him, he's a knob. I know this is in the news and everything, but it is very important. The 2016 referendum. Now, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with that. I respect both parties on what they voted for. After all, we had two choices. There's going to be a split down the middle. But one thing that's grinding me on that one is, we've had a democratic vote already, and it's not respected. It's because it's a different view, everyone's offended. No, the people have spoken. You need to respect it. We've never done or reacted that way to any other referendum. When there's, the Conservatives get in, I'm not gonna go, do a revote until Labour get in. It's not fair. That's the majority have overruled. And one thing that's happening a lot is people are falling out over this choice because who voted Remain or Leave. I'm a Leave voter. I stand by it and I'm proud. But I do not penalise anyone who voted Remain. My best friend voted Remain, and I still love him to this day. And it's alright. But one thing I cannot bear is people trolling because they have a different voting view. And it's not right. We get on with it. Things will be better. You just need to have faith. But yet again, it's a ploy by the media and probably by the government as well to scare us into thinking what's happened is wrong and we should penalise everyone for it. It's not the way to do it. But people knew what they were voting for and they voted. There's no need for a second vote, etc. So I won't go on too much about this, but I just had to get this out. We are stronger together, not apart. We're Great Britain for a reason. I think people need to remember that. Because I've got a point here, being unique is a negative. Sometimes I find, if you approach people and they're kind of offended by your mere existence, it's but there's different people around all the time, and you need to take that into account. And also, respect. I notice respect is gone as well, and we need to bring that back. I held a door open for someone, I didn't even get a thank you. How bad have things gotten? My parents, one of the first things they taught me, they're not perfect by any means, nobody has an instruction manual to be a parent, but the first thing they taught me was manners and respect. And this is what's happening with society at the moment. We don't respect people, and that has to come down to the freedom of speech as well. They don't respect other people's views or anything like that. Like I say, if you don't like barbecue sauce, it's fine. I'm not gonna start going a ploy or going, no, everyone should like barbecue sauce. It's the only way forward. It's no. One thing from that video is, he said, being offended is subjective. Now, it depends on your social class, everything. Your diet, your race, your religious beliefs. What offends me may not offend you. And to have a law on that and to dumb everything down for people is just absurd. What race did that 60, 70 years ago? The Nazis. The Nazis did it. They stopped free speech, they burnt books, they penalised one minority of the society, Jewish people. They were treated less than human. And you couldn't speak out about anything either, because you get killed yourself. You know, this is everything that we're voting against, like we fought against years ago. And this is going to go on to my next one, the poppy. Now, the poppy is a symbol for the British Legion to remember everyone who fought and died for their country years ago. And it links in so many different wars, so it could be the Falklands, it could be anything. But you need to remember the fallen, because they sacrificed, especially like World War I and World War II. You had kids holding rifles, and they were fighting for democracy, freedom of speech, everything we have today. And we got people now going, I am not wearing the poppy, it's a glorification of war. No, it's not. Don't get me wrong, it's your personal preference to wear a poppy, but you still remember the people. You know, you can remember people without conforming to everything, but I do it out of respect. I wear a poppy when I go to work. You know, that's the way it is. But you need to understand, like, it's just respect, and people need to understand there was no peace unless it was fought for. And a guy from the SAS said that, which is important. Like, you think about how many wars have happened over the centuries. Like, they were all fighting for something. You know, there were peaceful times as well, but this is what's important. And people need to understand that. Right, slightly off topic. Like, I got accused of being called sexist one time when I was out with a friend in Newcastle under Lyme. This whole situation was, we were just outside a club. It was just closing time, so they got people to exit. And we were sitting on the steps outside waiting for a taxi. And I was just having a casual conversation. There was about 4 of us. There was me, my friend, and 3 other people on the steps. And I was talking to one guy, and I think he got the wrong end of the stick. He didn't understand what my friend was saying. So I just put him right, and I was talking to him. And the girl in the corner just came up to me and went, you're sexist. I went, well, how did you work that one out? And she said, well, you are talking to me, so that makes you sexist. I was like, no, I just said you weren't involving yourself in the conversation. Can you see how things can be misconstrued straight away? It's like, just because I'm not talking to someone doesn't mean I think of them in a certain way or are they beneath me. It's like, it's crazy. I was absolutely shocked how everything just came into place. And, you know, they need to understand, like, you need to look things through. You know, if you're unsure about something, just ask. There's no problem. You don't read into things and get the wrong end of the stick. And that's the most important thing. So I'm gonna wrap up in a minute, guys. I think I've waffled for long enough. And so thank you very much. Like, subscribe. I'm gonna start putting these on my YouTube channel, and I'll probably be trying to do a different subject each week. So anything in the comments box, please put them in, and I will implement. Thank you, guys. Take care.